Hi, welcome everybody. I hope that you all hear me okay. Everybody hearing me okay? Seeing me okay? Okay, wonderful. So, welcome to TWR Facebook Live. So this is our first series of the Pith Instructions that I'm going to do. So I wanted to welcome everybody. Very happy to be here. It was a little bit challenging. I am in northern part of Italy, a Rime Buddhist center, Tuptino Sarling, giving a talk tonight here. So I was up, really up in the mountain. And so at the center, the internet was broken. So I have to find a little, go out of way and find a little bed and breakfast place in somebody's basement here. So, but I'm here with all of you. So good to see you all. So let me introduce you what this Pith Instruction is about. So we are calling it Pith Instructions. It's about personal reflections on the Heart Essence of Dzogchen. So for last 25 years, I have been teaching in the West and primarily focusing on the teachings, the essence of the Dzogchen, and also the way I have been teaching these Dzogchen teaching. It's a little bit more really like a more integrative way rather than separating these ancient wisdom traditions from our life. I'm trying to do as much as possible, integrate these essence of the teachings in our life. That means personally for me it's also the same, that I try to bring as much as possible the way I live, bring the teaching in here, where I teach, bring the teaching there, where I work, bring the teaching there, where I interact, bring the teaching there. So some sense of, it's a very much like an integral approach. The reason why I feel it's very important, the integral approach, is sometimes I feel Dharma in the West has certain issues. Sometimes people come with a very pure heart, pure devotion, really sense of wanting to learn and practice. But once they enter into the teaching, and then the same old patterns comes up in their practices, or learning of the practices, application of the practices, the way they live their life through the practices, or where they're trying to serve others through the practices. They're just their own the neurosis is just kind of manifest, and somehow people manage to live a parallel life, that one side, one is practicing a practitioner and go on, and one side, this total neurosis, personality neurosis, is able to live. So they're not kind of very connected to each other. So the approach here, this Pith Instruction, is very much see how we can really bring these things together and more beneficial way. And also one reason why I feel it's very important is also because end of the day, I think every religion, every spiritual path, every deep philosophy, every psychological method, every common sense of wisdom should always help a social transformation. So if these deep tradition, it's not helping society or social changes, and then I think it's not, maybe there's something problem in there. If it doesn't change a collective sense of society, and I think it will be harder to change as a group, small group of people. If that is true, and it's probably hard to change one individual also. So if it really helps you, it should help you and your partner, it should help you and your Sangha, and it should help you and your community, you and your country and so on. So it should somehow should manifest in the society, able to reflect and able to and bring some social changes. So that is the idea, is that these Pith instruction that should somehow affect the society as a services, because end of the day, we all truly trying to help somewhere. A mother is trying to bringing up child properly, or parents are trying to bring up child properly, and children trying to help aging and sick and dying parents, or professionally, like people who are doing in social services, and people are really trying to do their best to help others, and then the issue of personal not able to handle conflicts, deadlines, burnout, and then stress, tension, depressions, and not able to handle and not able to do this service to other well. So somehow I think in the end we all trying to help other people, but the wisdom tradition should help us to help others more. So that is the purpose. So that if in that way we can help us, we can help also some sense of social changes. So this is, and then the Pith instruction, we will do this continuously. Today I'm going to just do a little bit more introduction about what we're going to do. This is more like introduction. And next week on, we will talk about maybe specific topics on the path, or what we call like, so I will explain that, like some sense of, in Tibetan tradition we say Ye, Lam, and Devu. Ye means the base, Lam means the path, Devu means the result. So some sense that what it means to practice these three core points, base, path, result. So what does that mean? So we will talk about that also. So let's say, let's talk a little bit about these three things. So there's two different kind of ways to approach. One, we can say base, je, lam, path, devo, fruition or result. So basically, the essence of Dzogchen should fit in these three main principles. And also another way to look at it, also we can say tawa, gompa, and chöpa. Tawa means view, gompa means meditation or the path, chöpa means conduct or behavior. So somehow they are also corresponds to each other, they are connected to each other. So basically the view, meditation and behavior of Dzogchen, base, path, fruition of Dzogchen is the core principle or structure of how the knowledge has been presented by Dzogchen in the great tradition of great perfection or Dzogchen. And so what does that mean in terms of the practices? If I say a very simple way, we say tawa tadal, boundless view, so it's easy to understand. Gompa rangsal, a self-arising meditation or self-arising meditation, I think that's fine, self-arising meditation. And then fruition is chöpa, lukpa, like a flexible behavior or spontaneous behavior. So some sense of, that's really what core aspect of what it means to have this sense of boundless view and have this sense of so okay, let's say this way: boundless view, self-clear meditation, spontaneous conduct. What does this mean? Okay, I hope I'm trying to explain it as simple as possible. I hope I'm not getting into a complicated discussion here. That's my goal, is not to make things complicated, trying to make as simple as possible. So boundless views, the truth is boundless. Our individual essence is boundless. We are boundless being. The truth is boundless. Our essence is boundless. And the base, the foundation of everything is boundless. So that truth, that our essence, that base is what we lose the connection to, or that base is what we don't understand, and that base is what we're trying to understand. And so whole some sense of philosophy, doctrine, discussions, basic root texts, commentaries, all are basically trying to explain that. But then it gets really like a complicated, and some doctrines, some tenet system gets more complicated than the others. But whole idea is to trying to keep it as simple as possible, because the truth is simple, it's not a complicated. We are complicated, and we make things more complicated to understand that simple truth. So the second is, when we say self-arising meditation, what does that mean? That means some sense of that boundless view. If you don't manipulate, if you don't elaborate, if you don't change, if you don't run away from it, if you don't suppress it, if you leave it as it is, and if you rest fully, you have a much more greater chance to recognize that boundless base, or the boundless view, or the boundless truth, or the boundless self. So you have much more greater chance if you leave it as it is. And if you leave it as it is, so then you don't have to try to understand. Understanding arises by itself. So the self-arising awareness, the awareness is just there. For example, if I am putting a lot of effort trying to be happy, and I'm feeling sad, because effort does not make you feel happy. I'm feeling sad. And I'm doing this for years and years and years. Now to the point I'm not only sad, but I'm really depressed. I'm really feeling hopeless. I'm really feeling like a powerless, lost. And when you feel that kind of lack of energy, obscured with these negative energy and blockages, then there's no way to awareness to arise by itself. Like when the cloud is completely obscuring this beautiful, boundless, clear sky, there's no way to sun to arise by itself. Even it's arising by itself, but there's no way to have access to it, because cloud is obscuring it. Same way that for us, our true self, our boundless essence, our boundless truth, the base is obscured, and awareness is difficult awareness to arise by itself. So therefore we put a lot of effort. But when awareness does arise by itself, then the result is a spontaneous. So for example, when there's no clouds in the sky, the cloudless sky, it appears spontaneously without any effort. When the clearless sky is there, the effortless or the spontaneous light is there. When the spontaneous light is there, the warmth of light is effortless. It's naturally there. So some sense that these three aspects, they're kind of really like connected to each other. And one very important part of it is that they all have some, in a Dzogchen teaching, they all have something to do with what we call Zimpa Mepa, Zimpa Talwa. We talk about understanding of that base is non-conceptual direct cognition. So it's not like it's not like a indirect, like a logic. Logic has not much place in the Dzogchen tradition, and in a way, it's we say through reasoning mind, through conceptual mind, through our conceptual mind, we can never understand that truth. Therefore, to you, if you are interested to understand that boundless truth, the only way to understand is to be free from the conceptual mind and rest in that non-conceptual awareness, and non-conceptual awareness will effortlessly recognize the truth. So this is what he's saying. So what I'm trying to say here is these three things: boundless view, self-arising meditation, a spontaneous behavior, effortless spontaneous behavior, they all have one thing in common: it's non-grasping. So the view is never bounded. How you say that? Sorry, the base is never bounded with grasping mind, and the meditation should never be polluted by grasping mind. The spontaneous effort should never be grasped and contracted by grasping mind. Whenever there is a grasping mind in the view, you don't understand the true, you don't have the self-realization. Whenever the grasping mind is in the meditation, you will never have genuine experiences. Whenever the grasping mind is grasp the fruition or result or conduct or behavior, and behavior becomes very effortful, painful, limited, no spontaneity. So the grasping mind is somehow become obstacle in all these three different levels. So that is, I think, is one thing that's very, very important and common. Now let's talk about a little bit about this sense of what I was saying earlier, that personality, our personality and our spiritual practice not living parallel to each other, but integration. They should be connected. So I think that's really, really like important point that I'm trying to make here. Is the main point is I'm trying to talk some philosophical, some experiential basis to describe that. But the main point of what I'm trying to come is the place where there is a more integrative aspect of our spiritual practices in our life. For example, I give some examples, okay? Because we all have a life. You all have a life, right? Okay, let's be a little bit more interactive here. Do you all have a life? Of course, you all have a life. How many of you are this moment in your life, how many of you are very engaged in your personal life? That means you're really struggling or working or enjoying with your health, with yourself. How many of you are doing that? So I hope you're all hearing me well, and so I wanted to hear some comments here. Personal life. So your sense of you are very connected to your personal life. Maybe you are trying to really work hard to eat well, or you're really trying to work hard to exercise more. You're really trying to work hard to have less stress. Whatever you're doing, but how much of you're doing on very much trying to figure something out on a personal life. So this is the one question. If the personal life is important And if the practice is important, then they all need to be connected to each other. So basically that's the number one. If your personal life is important, and if your spiritual practice is important, then the spiritual practice should help well-being of personal life. They should not interfere each other. If your personal life is good, then that should help your spiritual development. They should not interfere with each other. Many times we live parallel life. They are not connected. Somebody might have a very nice self-perception of being a good practitioner, but personal life is very miserable. There is no awareness. You can think about awareness, you can talk about awareness, you can read about awareness, but in life, awareness is very much personal life. Awareness is very much lacking. How you eat, very much lacking. How you exercise is lacking. How you meditate is lacking. How you take care of yourself is lacking. So basically you don't kind of have more like a good sense of personal life because your idea of spiritual practice is not connected to your personal life. Or if somebody happened to have a good personal life, for example, good health, youthful, good gene, good country you're living in, good economic status, good family, but that all of those cause condition is not helping you to develop your spiritual practice, because one day it's going to end. There is no true sense of spiritual development. It's not connected. So there is a clearly sense of very disconnected nature. Second one, for example, of course, personal life is important for everybody, right? Everybody. So you just think about that. How much of of course, when I'm talking to you, I'm also talking to myself. I'm not clearly, this is Facebook Live is very much, for me, is where I reflect a lot in myself. And I'm trying to see what I feel, what I understand as a reflection, self-reflection. And I'm trying to see among them what will be more collectively useful for the society. And those are the things I'm trying to share. I'm not trying to promote one tradition, one idea, one specific theory. No, I'm trying to see everything that my life brought me, a gift of my life, with wonderful teachers that I have learned from, blessings that I have from my teachers, and connection to these beautiful ancient traditions and access to Dzogchen traditions that I've learned. And I feel like how much this is not only just a very ancient exotic tradition, but how much it's timely message for modern society and the socially beneficial. So those social beneficial part of those essential teaching, and as a Pith instruction, I'm trying to bring out by reflecting together with all of you, reading all of your comment. That makes me reflect more or reflect differently. Next time I have something a little bit more different things to say. So you all of my a scripture, a text, a Bible, or my text, my reference, my source, where I'm learning from all of you, learning these teachings better and understand better, and then bring it back to communicate with all of you better. So all of your comments and reflections, what you shared with me in Facebook, is very important, the way of where we all are growing together in this dialogue here. So I'm going back to the point. So personal life is very important for all of us. But the second part is the family life. maybe if some of you have left your life, family life, you have like some of the yogis in Tibet, they just go up in the mountain. Rest of their life, they have decided not to see anybody except their needs of food and water or something. But they really like just cut completely off. There are people who feel the need of that. There are people who benefited from that, and that there are people who have achieved realization by doing that. But clearly, my life has not been like that, and my life is like this. And this afternoon, searching for internet connection and trying to see the Facebook way I can do this Facebook thing, and with my Sangha, all the international Sangha, the Cyber Sangha, my family, my son who's in Dharamsala, trying to struggle, trying to take care, all those things. So I'm not living that hermited life for sure. So I am living very much more very normal life, I would call it. So I do have family. As a Cyber Sangha is my family, people who I would know only through the Cyber, but never met them, might never ever meet them, and some of them I meet. I keep on meeting new people from the Cyber Sangha in person after many years. But regardless of I meet or not, Cyber Sangha is some sense I feel family. And I hope you all feel the family, that this is where we are trying to exchange and learn and really feel this sense of connection that we are feeling here. It's equally strong enough that we're living in the same house. This is really important point. I have a fortune to grow up with my teacher, age 10 until I was 27. So, and also able to maintain this beautiful, deep relationship, continuously going deeper and deeper until now, of 40 years of relationship. And of course, one time in one house, but now in different continent, but relationship has never affected. It's equally same. So some sense, I know this is the time, limitless, timeless relationship, connections. And since we don't have fully realization that we cannot have it, at least internet helps to have that. But some point, we will not internet, we will not need Wi-Fi, we'll be always connected. But right now, internet is helping us to do that. So, sorry to talking a little bit too much here. So, coming back to the family. So, we have a family, and but this relationship, either it's a Cyber, either it's a Sangha, either it's a non-profit organization in community, either it's in a company that having some kind of collective purpose together, either it's a spiritual community, either it's a family, a blood family, or friendship, or between really two people, one family. We are so much, we live our life so much, our experiences of feeling richness, fullness, or less full, or lonely has so much to do with relationship and family relationship. And sometimes these family relationships are very distorted. In families are very distorted, and sometimes in a spiritual families relationship are very distorted, and sometimes teacher and students relations are very distorted. So it is really important for all of us to this sacred relationship that we have, any form that we have, it has to also be integrated with the practices of this idea of boundless and spontaneous awareness. How you say, the effortless awareness, a spontaneous behavior. So these view, meditation, conduct should, this knowledge, the knowledge, understanding and experience of this view, meditation and conduct should help us live well in our relationship and transform the highest form in our relationship, any form of relationship. As a society, if you look at the world today, politically speaking, it very much represents Dharma. Basically, if you think about boundless, means no boundary, or boundaries, it's divisions, boundaries. So if you're trying to create more borders, if you're trying to create more walls, if you're trying to create more division between races, religions, sexes, genders, and every boundaries that we create, it goes against this basic principle of boundless view. So in a way, if you're really truly practicing this principle of boundless view, self-arising meditation, flexible conduct, genuine warmth, there's no closing is not an option. This is what I always tell myself. Anytime I have personally, when I'm trying to be really open to anybody in my life, clearly sometimes those openness has been taking advantage, and I know that, and obviously, of course, sometimes you feel hurt, or you feel kind of a little bit close, and then you self-reflect. You always meditate, self-reflect, and from that boundless openness, rest there, trying to let some spontaneous awareness arise and some spontaneous warmth arise, re-reflect, restart like your computer, restart your body, speech, and mind, and then you do feel like a little bit of shift and change. You feel like, of course, closing is not an option at all. But I can be a little bit more conscious, I can be a little bit more aware, I can take a little break. But continuously I need to open, and continuously I need to see the openness is the solution. And even certain problems what comes out of this openness, you might think it's a problem, but end of the day, if you look from the right place, there are also some form of success, because they are also going toward this boundless openness direction. So some sense you feel more strength, courage, confidence, openness, warmth to continuously open by giving yourself up, letting go your own ideas up, sharing your own successes, sharing your own wealth, sharing your own everything, and obviously at the end of the day, letting go of that famous grasping mind a little bit more. So that is truly a goal. So going back to this sense of family, so, okay, how many people here that reflecting a little bit more in the family? So this is my question to all of you. How many of you are very much engaged in working in your family? If the family is important, then that family relationship somehow should correspond together with view or meditation or conduct. Do you see any relationship there or not? If you don't see a clear relationship, then there is some kind of interruption or some disturbances in integration part. So this is, I want everybody to reflect. It's not something that we have to come out immediately answer for everything, but basically your family life should affect positively your meditation. Your meditation should affect positively your family life. Okay, maybe I'll give a joke, explain one story here. Stories are always helpful. One time I met a guy, he was talking about, he said that he was really seriously meditating, and he came to one of my retreats, and he said we were talking about compassion and having compassion, and particularly having compassion to your mother, and the typical these Tibetan stories about your mother, most important, who has. So you have to have compassion to all the sentient beings, because all the sentient beings has been your mother at one point and another point. And then he said, well, if everybody has been made my mother, then I cannot have compassion. I have a big problem with my mother. My mother is a big obstacle for my spiritual practice. And then he said, but it was funny that he had a big fight with his mother, and she needs some help, and he did not help. And he left her and came to the retreat, and here with me, and where I'm saying, now you imagine your mother and have a compassion to her, who he just have a big fight with. So that's exactly what I'm trying to say. So really, like compassion, following a teacher and learning, sitting on a cushion, compassion. Obviously, you do that, but that should not interfere your compassion to your mother. So that compassion on the cushion should help real change the way you see your mother, where you feel about your mother, where you behave toward your mother, where you help your mother, where you live with your mother. The compassion on a cushion should absolutely help that. And the way you behave with your mother, where you see your mother, should help compassion on the cushion too. But if one is not helping the other, or the other is not helping one, if there is no connection between them, then there is seriously a problem there. And so that is what I think is really important to address. And if there is a clearly connection, then whatever spiritual practice you're doing, ultimately it will help your social changes, social transformation, able to help other more, that will affect that. Now, just as probably we are running out of time, just wanted to conclude with this final part, professional. Now, again, in the same story, some of you say, well, I don't have a professional. I'm a yogi. I live in a cave, so there's no profession. Or another one might say, I'm retired. I don't need money. I'm just practicing, my own. So no profession. But then there are a lot of people who have profession, who are professionally successful, and who are maybe entering into a career profession where you are also very, very seriously exploring your spiritual development. Or maybe you are in the middle age where you are deep in both, where you are in the middle of your success of your profession, and you are also in the middle of your development of your spiritual practices. But maybe you feel, I cannot really practice fully because I have to work, and my work is interfering. I meet a lot of people who say that they're having a lot of problem with their work because they are practicing. And I also know there are a lot of people who are practicing, focusing so much on the practices, having a lot of problem at work, able to have a good relationship with the work, able to see the work as a positive, able to see the work as an opportunity, able to deal with the conflicts of the work through their practices of boundless views, self-arising meditation, flexible behaviors are not manifesting in their workplace situation, or they are not able to cope well with their deadlines or conflict with their colleagues, and not able to relax with their deadlines. They lose their sense of playfulness, affecting by their health, and so on. So if you are in the profession, then you really have to see once again, how this boundless view, self-arising meditation, and spontaneous behavior, how does this view, meditation, and conduct is helpful in your profession? Then profession is supporting your spiritual development, or yes or no, or if not, how it can be. It has to be ultimately. If not, once again, If there is no connection with your work and your practice, there is something fundamentally wrong. And I think if you think about development, spiritual development, then you can think about it's driving on the highway. Maybe if you are integrated, your personal life and family life and professional life is integrated with your practicing, you are like in full speed of development. But if these are disconnected with each other, and if you feel you are doing practices but has nothing to do with these three areas of your life, even though these three areas of life is very important for you, is affecting your life all the time, but they are not connected with your spiritual practice, that means you are driving a car with maybe, 5 kilometers an hour or 10 kilometers an hour, very slow, very, very, very slow, and feeling like powerless, the lack, or maybe running out of gases or something like that. So that is, I think, some sense of experiences. So I think, so that's really like more or less, I think, what I wanted to say today as kind of general view of this Pith Instruction and personal reflection of the essence of the Dzogchen teaching. And maybe I'll just say one last thing is, one of the things in the Dzogchen teaching, it says rest and effortless. And today's world, in everything, there's so much effort. In personal life, there's so much effort to be well. And in family life, there's so much effort. And in professional life, there's so much effort. And effort is killing us. And effort is destroying the world. The effort is making world not very harmony place. And all this effort is coming out of pain and ego and fear. And core address these teachings is trying to address is trying to address the ego and fear and pain. And through these, we are trying to live life of personal life and family life and professional life. There you don't live good. So we have to find another way to live better, another way of looking at our life. So this is what we are trying to, I think we all need to learn. And I hope that in next weeks to come, I hope we can discuss more how integrate these two aspects of our life and our spiritual practices. So these Pith Instructions will go on. Today is September 6th, and it will continuously go on until November 26th. And so idea is every week, I think it's every Wednesday. So I know my host there, Mariela, I see Mariela is there. Thank you, Mariela, and doing wonderful work there, posting all the things what our Sangha, Cyber Sangha needed to know. So, but I wanted to I want everybody to be very flexible, so not get stuck with the idea of every Wednesday and every exactly time, even though I'm trying to do my best. So sometime today it was very hard to trying to find this place in one bed and breakfast place in the mountains in Italy. I don't even know these people here. The center there asked this bed and breakfast place, let me do this in their basement here. They're making this essential oils, and you see some bottles here. So, but sometimes there's a place it's difficult to do. So that means I might have to change the date or cancel the whole thing. So please be flexible, but I will try to do my best to be. And also, many of you, this is a very important announcement, and many of you know that His Holiness Lungtot Tenpa Nyima Rinpoche, Merit Tenzin, whose health is not very well, and I know most of everybody knows, so it's already been in Facebook and internet. So, but all the our teachers and our Sangha members in many monasteries, the monks and lamas, they all are there taking care of as well as possible His Holiness. So Rob, also our president of Lingmechi International, has sent out a message on the page. So basically, please keep in prayer invocation of long life mantra, Ishiyawamo invocation, and mantra of Sherab-chama, those you know and those you don't know and wanting to do. And you will see in my Facebook page, they are posting the image of His Holiness and the mantra there. So we have been doing last few years, always kind of accumulating things for our teachers. And particularly last 2 years, we've been more focusedly accumulating for His Holiness. And now we're specifically requesting all of you. And also our Colorado Sangha, I apologize to cancel the retreat there. And so next week I am going to India to visit His Holiness, and I will also let him know that all international, our Saibal Sangha is practicing for him. So please keep in prayer, and thank you so much, everybody. So I will see you all next week. Thank you.